When I was very young and at school, we used to have nature tables. This little film is something like one of those nature tables. It's a collection of things I found while walking around the gardens and the grasses. One of the beautiful gardens around here is a local garden, and it's full of the familiar birds, but it's a lovely place to go and spend a bit of time in the sunshine. See the familiar birds flying around. Some of them, like these swallows, are too quick to film really, so I've slowed it right down just to see the tiny gap they were flying through. But as luck would have it, one of the swallows did something they don't usually do, which is come out and have a bit of a rest and a bit of a sunbathe on the tiles. So I managed to film him quite close up, or her, having a bit of a scratch as well. And that was a bit of a theme actually for walking around this day, because I saw this, which I've never seen, a long-tailed tit sunbathing in the top of the tree, and there were a few there, and you can see they're actually panting, stretching their wings out and having a good old sunbathe and a rest before continuing their work, which is darting around at 100 miles an hour, flitting from branch to branch. Absolutely lovely. And then I saw this robin also catching a few seconds in the sunshine. Going into the grasses is always a pleasure. It reminds me of those nature table days, because you could when you're little, you look up at the grasses and they all seem big and interesting, and they're full of flies and insects and birds, like these skylarks, which are lovely to watch now singing, and then they hover their way back into their nest. So the grass is probably full of these little nests at the moment. And obviously all the flowers, the daisies and the poppies, they're all out there as well at the moment, which look beautiful to go and sit in the sunshine. And if you do spend a bit of time round by the grass and the flowers, you never know what you might see. And on the way back, I decided to try and film in the woods, really on the edge, the gold crests. And I've got to be honest, I don't have much joy photographing these fellas because they never sit still, and I don't have much more joy trying to film them. They just seem to go everywhere flat out, and they don't seem to stop for more than a second. So even though the footage is only a second here and a second there, I think that pretty much typifies how you see them when they're out. But of course these ones are feeding baby goldcrests that have just left the nest. So it does give you an opportunity at least to be able to catch a bit of a glimpse of them here and there. But they're tiny. I mean, the goldcrest is probably no bigger than your thumb. It's Britain's smallest bird. And the chicks, as you can imagine, are absolutely titchy. See that one there trying to catch a bit of a fly. In fact, the best chance I got to film him was here, where he was in the distance and it was a wider angle shot, and you can just see how small they are flitting around in the branches. They're always good to see in this type of tree though. Whenever you see a tree like this, look up, and you never know, you might see one near the top. One of my favourite birds. I hope you've enjoyed it.